One welcome to all of you. Today we are going to see the question answer of Act 1, Scene 1, which is given in your workbook. That is Extract 4, number 5. Who is Nestor? Why is he referred to in the extract? Nestor was a king of Pylos. He was one of the greatest generals in the Trojan War. He was famous for his wisdom, justice, knowledge of war, and profound gravity. If he laughed, it meant the joke was really funny. He is referred to in the extract to describe the sad and grave people. Number 6. Give the meaning of and other of such vinegar aspect. The second type of people who are grave and serious. Though Nestor swear the jest be laughable, even if the wise and grave Nestor certify the joke as funny. Number 7. Why are a class of people compared to parrots? A class of people are compared to parrots because they laugh even at a bagpiper as foolishly as a parrot laughs at anything. Number 8. Who comes at the end of Salarino's speech? Why does Salarino leave then? At the end of Salarino's speech, Bassanio, Gratiano, and Lorenzo come. Salarino leaves Antonio then because Antonio's friend Bassanio, Gratiano, and Lorenzo have come to give him company. Extract 5, number 1. Why is a young man compared to his grandsire cut in alabaster? Under what condition is he likely to be infected with jaundice? Gratiano gives the example of a warm-blooded young man who represses his spirits and forced himself to stillness till he looks like the marble image of his grandfather. He does so to advise Antonio not to remain in melancholy. He is likely to be infected with jaundice due to his bad temper. Number 2. Give the meaning of do cream and mantle like a standing pond. Some men overcast their faces with a pale expression as unchanging as a cream that forms on the surface of milk and as the scum that forms on the surface of a stagnant pool. Number B. Do a willful stillness entertain, maintain an obstinate silence, not to disturb the solemnity of their faces. Number 3. What is said in the extract about the people who try to earn a reputation for wisdom? In the extract, Gratiano speaks about people who try to obtain a reputation for wisdom, seriousness, and deep thought by remaining silent. Such people mean to say that they speak with the authority of the Greek oracle and they alone are infallible in their utterances. When they speak, others should keep quiet. Number 4. What is meant by I am Sir Oracle and let no dog bark? I am Sir Oracle means I speak with the authority of the Greek oracle. The Greek oracles made known the will of gods and were received by all without questions. Let no dog bark means let no one speak. It refers to the attitude of those wise men who consider themselves as the fountain of wisdom and want that when they speak, others should remain silent. Number 5. What advice does Gratiano give to Antonio at the end of his speech? At the end of his speech, Gratiano advises Antonio not to be one of those who try to gain a reputation for wisdom by being silent. He further tells Antonio not to use melancholy as a bait to win the reputation of wisdom and cheap popularity, which is like a worthless cheap fish, a gudgeon. Extract 6, number 1. Where are Bassanio and Antonio? What has Antonio said earlier, in reply to which Bassanio speaks these words? Bassanio and Antonio are in a street in Venice. Prior to this extract, Antonio asked Bassanio to tell him about his plans. He adds, that if Bassanio's plan is as honorable as he is, he then promises him everything that he has: money, influence, personal help, and utmost resources. Explain the following, or bring your latter hazard back again and thankfully rest debtor for the first. The above lines mean that at any rate, Bassanio could pay the second loan and remain his grateful debtor for the first. Number 3. What confession has Bassanio made to Antonio earlier about his financial position? How can you conclude that Bassanio is a spendthrift? Earlier, Bassanio confesses to Antonio that he has spent his wealth by having a more lordly way of living than his moderate income allowed him. Therefore, he has incurred heavy debt because of his youth and extravagance. This proves that Bassanio is a spendthrift. Number 4. What experience of his school days does Bassanio relate to justify this plan for repaying the loan? Bassanio says that when he was a boy at school and he lost one of his arrows while shooting, he would shoot another arrow in the same direction. Thus, by risking the second, he often regained both the arrows. Number 5. How does Bassanio propose to pay back his previous loan as well as the present loan? Bassanio proposes to pay back his previous loan as well as the present loan by carefully managing the expenditure of his second loan amount. Number 7.1. What is meant by fair speechless messages and nothing undervalued? Fair speechless messages mean glances which are silent messages of love. Bassanio wants to say that sometimes he received from Portia's eyes lovely silent messages. The words nothing undervalued mean not less precious. Bassanio says that his Portia is no less precious than Cato's daughter. Number 2. Who are Cato and Brutus? Why are they referred to here? Cato, the father of Brutus' wife, Portia, was the great-grandson of famous Cato, the censor. In the civil war between Pompey and Caesar, he supported Pompey and was defeated by Caesar. Brutus, husband of Portia, was the chief of the conspirators against Caesar and caused his assassination. They are referred to show that Portia of Belmont is as precious and great as Cato's daughter Portia. Number 3. What evidence is there in the passage to show that Portia's fame had spread throughout the world? The passage says that Portia's fame had spread throughout the world as suitors from every part of the world come to Belmont to win her hand in marriage. Explain in your own words the meaning and significance of the golden fleece which Jason shot in Colchis. Jason was a Greek hero who was sent by Peleus, his uncle who had usurped the throne, to fetch the golden fleece from Colchis. In Greek mythology, golden fleece is referred to as the fleece of the winged ram Chrysomalos. It was kept at an oak tree in a grove sacred to god Ares and guarded by dragon in Colchis. Bassanio compares Portia to the golden fleece and himself in his quest for Portia to Jason on his voice to fetch the golden fleece. He refers to other shooters as Jason. Number 5. Describe briefly the first impression the audience have of Portia in the opening scene. Bassanio's description of Portia in the opening scene reveals that she is a paragon among women. She is rich and beautiful with golden hair. She has wonderful mental qualities and is virtuous as well. Her fame has attracted suitors from all over the world. She is in no way inferior to her namesake, Cato's daughter. and Brutus' wife. Extract 8, number 1. Why is Antonio unable to help Bassanio at once? Antonio is unable to help Bassanio at once since he has no money in the hand, as all his business ventures are at sea. To raise a present sum, how much was this sum? Why was it required urgently? The sum was 3,000 ducats. It was required urgently for Bassanio to go to Belmont and present himself before Portia as a worthy suitor. Number 3. What does Antonio instruct Bassanio to do in this regard? Antonio instructs Bassanio to find out a merchant who is ready to give him money against his name. Number 4. Give the meaning of that shall be racked even to the uttermost. The credit shall be stretched to the utmost limit. Antonio says that he is ready to stretch the credit as far as to equip Bassanio to go to Belmont to woo Portia. Number B. To have it of my trust or for my sake, either on the security of my name or from feelings of personal friendship. Number 5. In the opening scene, the theme of romance and love is introduced. How is this scene linked to the Bond story? In the opening scene, Bassanio comes to Antonio to borrow money so that he can go to Belmont to win his lady love. But Antonio confesses that he has no ready cash and instructs Bassanio to borrow money from a merchant against his security or name. Thus, Shakespeare links the first scene to the Bond story, which involves the loan from Shylock. Number 6. Compare briefly the character of Antonio with that of Bassanio in the opening scene. Antonio is introduced in the scene as a rich merchant having many shipping ventures at sea. He is in a state of melancholy and not interested in love. Loyalty and generosity towards Bassanio are the major traits of his character. Compared to Antonio, Bassanio is shown as a spendthrift young gallant who lives a life of luxury beyond his means. He seems to take undue advantage of Antonio's generosity. Unlike Antonio, he is a romantic man who wants to marry Portia, a rich and beautiful heiress from Belmont. Now, Act 1, Scene 2. Extract 1, what has Portia just said, in response to which Nerissa speaks this word? Portia has just said that she can neither choose the one she likes nor refuse the one she dislikes, because the choice of her husband depends on the lottery of cascade devised according to her late father's will. Other part of Act 1, Scene 2, question answer from the workbook we will see in the next video. Have a nice day. Thank you.